Someone once asked, "What is the most painful thing in life?" The answer: it's when you're still alive but your money has run out. As we enter old age, there's no doubt that money becomes extremely important. Yes, when people get older, life can be hard without money. Even if you rely on your children, you may face cold treatment, which is heartbreaking. Many elderly people fear poverty, so they pinch every penny and refuse to spend. In the end, they save all their money but live a life as bitter herbs. And if they fall ill, their children might even get upset, thinking, the elderly never spend money on themselves, always eating leftovers and wearing threadbare clothes. And in the end, all their money goes to hospitals. The ancients said, too much of anything is bad. Spending and saving are two aspects of life, and neither should be taken to extremes. If you can balance the two, life will truly get better, and family harmony will follow. So, after the age of 60, convert 50% of your savings into the following things. Spending money is like buying blessings. 1. Good nutrition brings good health. 70-year-old Mr. Wang and his wife had just attended their cousin's funeral. At the funeral, relatives sighed and reminisced about the cousin's life, lamenting that he had been too frugal, neglecting his health. In his younger years, the cousin had lofty ambitions, determined to save money for his family's future, but lived very frugally in the process. He skimped on food and clothing, relying on buns and pickles for years, hardly ever eating meat. He didn't marry until he was nearly 40, and after having children, he worked even harder, yet still refused to buy any nutritious food for himself. Every day, like an old ox, he worked tirelessly, saving every penny in the bank without ever thinking of treating himself. Even when his son, after graduating from technical school, urged him to eat more nutritious food, he would always agree on the surface, but never really improved his diet. Over time, his body deteriorated from long-term malnutrition. Finally, at the age of 64, cancer quietly crept in. Within just 1 year, the illness ravaged him, and he passed away, a regretful end. Mo Yang once said, a freshly steamed bun, a bowl of braised pork, a pot of millet porridge, taken 3 times a day, for 10 years. If it doesn't work, try another 10 years. It's an unshakable belief. This reminds us that no matter how much money we have, health always comes first. Without health, everything else turns to dust. As we age, while wealth is important, maintaining a healthy lifestyle is the foundation of a happy old age. Only by ensuring good health can we truly enjoy every stage of life. 2. Pocket money for grandchildren brings generational love. Many elderly people take care of their grandchildren. Yet, some grandparents aren't liked by their grandchildren. Some children even bluntly tell their grandparents, "I don't want you to stay at my house." This is deeply distressing. After years of hard work caring for them, there's no affection in return. Reflecting on it, why are some grandparents disliked? At the core, it's because the bond between the generations hasn't been nurtured. In addition to teaching children right from wrong and feeding them daily, you also need to make them happy. Grandchildren need to feel that their grandparents are the ones who love them the most. Children are children, they need to be coaxed. When out with their grandparents, they often see things they like and always want them bought. Little toys, snacks, trips to amusement parks, these are all part of the pocket money that grandparents should be willing to spend. Even a small toy costing just a few cents can make a grandchild feel loved. If they're always happy with their grandparents, they'll naturally feel close to them. 3. Festive food brings warmth and family togetherness. From the southern fish soup to Guangzhou's morning tea, Sichuan Chongqing hot pot, to northeastern barbecue, and all kinds of seafood. No matter where you're from or what flavors you like, nothing compares to a family reunion meal. No matter how far you've traveled, you always worry on the way. But once you're home, you feel at ease. You might be stressed all year at work, but once you're back home, you relax. Many times, it's not that the food outside isn't delicious, it's the absence of that homey taste from family gatherings. For many, the taste of home is unforgettable, deeply ingrained in our roots. For our children, if there's no parental home, they feel like wanderers wherever they go. As we age, we can no longer do grand things for our children. But we can still cook a meal. Maybe we spent 2 months preparing for this one meal, time-consuming and exhausting, but it's worth it. We make a dish our children have loved since childhood. And even if it costs some money, we shouldn't feel bad. This is a parent's endless love. During festivals or birthdays, the family home must exude warmth. This is the harbor for the entire family. An elderly neighbor, every holiday season, her house would be especially lively. Since her retirement, every holiday she would take out some of her savings to wrap many red envelopes and buy lots of ingredients to cook a feast, bringing her children and grandchildren back together. Her red envelopes weren't just for the little ones but for adults too. Each child, no matter their age, would get one, because to her, they were all still her children. Even at 80 years old, her face still radiated joy, though most of her teeth were gone. Her children were all successful and filial, and her grandchildren were happy and healthy. This family's harmony is certainly due to the wisdom and efforts of this venerable old lady. In old age, the money in your hands shouldn't just sit in the bank, it should be used wisely. To foster family harmony and unity. Festive family gatherings, warm lights, and loved ones by your side, that is the greatest wealth. Besides family warmth, another important pillar in old age is the relationship between spouses. 4. Travel expenses for couples bring true love. When it comes to travel, many couples are always waiting, always watching. When they retire, they finally have the time, but they hesitate to spend the money. Because their income has decreased. They think, we'll go after the grandkids are older, only to find that by then, they're too old. Mr. Wang sets aside 1 month's pension every year to travel with his wife. After retirement, instead of living frugally like others, he actively cultivates his hobbies and supports his wife's love of travel. Every year, they go on a trip. Last year, they chose a seaside town. As they strolled along the shore, his wife sighed, "We kept thinking we'd wait to travel, but before we knew it, time passed us by." Mr. Wang held her hand, smiling, "Luckily, we still have the chance now." His wife gently leaned on his shoulder, and they watched the sun set into the sea, feeling peaceful and content. Though they've been married for years, their love is still as deep as ever. Their children's marriages are also happy, thanks to the example set by their parents. In old age, the most important thing is family. No matter how filial your children are, nothing compares to the care of your spouse. A harmonious relationship with your spouse in old age makes life completely different. Bill Gates once said, "A person with no resources but full of passion often succeeds more than someone with resources but no passion." 5. Empowering daily expenses bring ease and vitality. Many elderly people seem to think they can't learn anything new after 60. But it's not that they can't learn, it's that they don't try. They're reluctant to spend money, won't even buy a book, let alone go to the gym. Smart seniors stay active, constantly giving their bodies and minds energy, staying full of vitality. That makes life easier. Reading broadens the mind, preventing confusion about the world. If you like fishing, buy a rod and go. If you enjoy Tai Chi, get the right clothes and find a master to learn from. If you like dancing, buy a dance outfit. Don't be too hard on yourself, doing things you enjoy is necessary. Living every day with no joy and no vitality is a recipe for misery. In old age, the most important thing is to strike a balance between saving and spending. Saving is for future security, but spending is for a better quality of life now. Taking care of your body, nurturing family relationships, and maintaining a positive outlook are key. In both material and spiritual realms, you will find abundance. Save money, but also know how to spend it on things that truly matter, like enhancing family bonds, maintaining health, and cultivating hobbies. Don't chase superficial vanity or materialistic displays. A simple life is often the happiest. May your old age be filled with peace, joy, and blessings. Person with praying hands.